Welcome to Vlogmas day number 8. We are doing some trip planning today. I know a ton of people go to Disney's Fort Wilderness in Florida to experience camping Christmas. It's supposed to be an over-the-top experience. Someday we want to get there, but it certainly isn't going to be this year. We are so excited about what we are doing. We are going to be mooch stocking with some family members. We're going to be near Globe, Arizona. So it's not necessarily the Christmas capital of the world there. So we're going to try to work to make sure that we have a really Christmas-y Christmas. And so I'm doing a little bit of planning today. We did a video, my husband and I shared that with you earlier in our Vlogmas series, and that was about creating traditions in your RV that are like downsized to be able to fit in an RV. When you're experiencing Christmas on the road. And so we're, of course, going to be doing a lot of those things. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link for that in the description below. But it's the stuff that you can kind of do like around the trailer. But today I'm actually going to be focusing on creating experiences by going to do things that are out in the community, like special events and activities, that kind of thing. So I've got my little notebook here, which I'm kind of keeping like all of my menus and all that stuff in. Everything is in one place. So I've got my Christmas trip stuff that's going to be here at the Home on Wheels, which is all that stuff that we kind of talked about in our traditions video. Just a little reminder, I've got a list for myself, which is going to be, you know, Christmas music, holiday movies, gift exchanges, mini party, and traditional Christmas foods that our family has to have for the holiday to be the holiday, baking some cookies, that kind of thing. But in addition to that, I really wanted to do some things that felt like bigger events. And we are going to be so close to Metro Phoenix. There are going to be a ton of opportunities for us to go to different kinds of events and do different kinds of activities. So I have a list of 11 things. We're obviously, as a family, not going to be able to do all of that in this little time that we're going to be together. But what I wanted to do was create a list that everybody could kind of think about and sort of do a family vote and see what were the top things that everybody was interested in that we might decide those are the ones that we're going to do. So what I wanted to share with you is that you don't need to go to Disney's Fort Wilderness to have a like over-the-top Christmas experience. You can find these kinds of activities pretty much in any community across the country. The bigger metro areas obviously have more events and more opportunities. But the smaller towns have really cool things going on too. So I want to share my list with you. I didn't put these in any specific order, but there are some that I have done in past years that I'd really like to go back to do because they were really awesome and I haven't been there in a long time. So my first thing on the list is going to the Phoenix Desert Botanical Gardens. They always have a really awesome event that is, it is basically a luminaria lit trails, and they have carolers and they have some crafts and things like that going on. They've got special foods and things. So it's a really nice event. And if you haven't ever, if you don't know what a luminaria is, it is basically a bag, and it's kind of almost like a brown paper lunch bag kind of bag. It's filled with sand in the bottom, and then a little candle is set inside, and like a votive candle, and then they're lit, and they are typically used to line pathways and driveways and sidewalks and things like that. A lot of communities do those around here, and it's just such an awesome way to experience the Desert Botanical Garden at night. It's a really warm and cozy feeling, and with all the other activities there, that's super fun. And this year, they're actually going to also have what's called a light bloom exhibit. So they are going the extra mile to just kind of like make the experience even more over the top. But that's not a glitzy over the top. It's a really kind of a laid back desert. It's Christmas in the desert in a really unique way. So that is one that I hope that the group decides that they want to do. My number 2 on the list is going to the Phoenix Zoo, and the Phoenix Zoo seems kind of like a weird place to go, but in the daytime, it's kind of just the zoo. But in the Christmas season, they actually have it open after dark, and they have what's called zoo lights. They've been doing this thing for like, I don't even know how many years. They light, I think, every bush and tree and every kind of like thing that they can stick lights around, they do. And it's a really fun experience to see the zoo that way. You won't see a ton of the animals. A lot of them will be sleeping by the time you get there after dark, but it's also a really fun experience. There's lots of Christmas parades, and the nice thing about Christmas parades is some of them are during the day, and usually Santa's like, at the end of the show there. And then some of them are at night, which are the electric light parades. And those happen in pretty much almost any community across the U.S., whether they be large or small communities. So I'm sure you're going to find at least one parade somewhere near where you're going to be camping. The other thing that is really common across the country is drive-through light shows. And those are often little fundraisers for community nonprofits and things like that. So those are fun. You can usually find those if you just kind of look in a special events section, whether it be on a website or the little local newspapers or something like that. The other thing that's super fun is going to theater. Local theater groups are always putting on shows for Christmas time, and sometimes they are just plays and sometimes they're musicals. And I have to say that for the majority of my family really enjoys those. Pete, on the other hand, doesn't like musicals as much. I remember one year we were in New York. We were working and we were there on a trip, and we had to spend some time there, and we ended up going to see, it was Grease. And I was super excited about going to see Grease. And Pete was not super excited. It was a musical. Anyway, here comes the intermission. He thinks it's the end of the show, gets up and is like ready to walk out, happy that it's over. And I'm like, it's only halftime. So we ended up seeing it. It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot more than he did. But that is the kind of thing that maybe if your group doesn't really necessarily all enjoy musicals, a lot of them are just plays, or some of them are comedies. So even if it is a musical, if it's a comedy, it can be kind of fun too for everybody. So that's another option. The other thing that is, I think, making the holiday really special is when you volunteer to help some nonprofits, and they're always looking for extra help around the holiday season. And that old saying, "It's better to give to receive," that you get more back from giving than you do when you actually receive something. And it's nice. There's tons of places in the Phoenix Valley that from the Thanksgiving holiday through New Year's, they're always looking for an extra hand. So whether it be a food bank or whatever kind of a clothing drive or a gift drive for kids or whatever, I'm sure you can find something. And that's it's a real kind of special kind of experience to have the holiday not necessarily focused on like us, but helping other people that are less fortunate. Another thing that's super fun is skating. So in the Valley of the Sun, we don't have a lot of ice skating rinks. There are some, so you can find those, but we actually have events that are called sock skating too. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but those are things that a lot of communities put on just to kind of celebrate the holiday in a local kind of way. The majority of the country does have ice skating rinks and opportunities to whether it be a rink that's put up for just the season or something that's kind of like a year-round thing in some colder communities. So we actually do have some ice skating rinks that appear outside in the valley in the winter time around the holidays. The other thing that's kind of easy to find across the country are Polar Express trains. They are very common, and ours in particular would be a day trip for us. We would need to be traveling from the metro area up to Williams, and that's kind of near Flagstaff. And there is it's a scenic train. It's not the prettiest scenery that we have. We have some other really beautiful scenic trains that are out of Cottonwood, Sedona area. Those are gorgeous, and they have Christmas events on those too. But the Polar Expresses are the things that are a little bit more common, where Santa comes on the train and you experience whatever hot chocolate and cookies or whatever along the way. Ours out of Williams actually goes to the Grand Canyon National Park. So that would be kind of a fun thing, but we don't have kids in our group, so I'm kind of thinking the Polar Express thing is not going to be one of the top choices for our particular group, but it is fun especially for people with kids. In northern Arizona, believe it or not, people don't realize that Arizona has a lot of cold country and snow and mountains and skiing opportunities. So if the weather holds, we might actually be able to take a drive up to the Flagstaff area or some other part of northern Arizona and do some snow activities. So, I don't know. We haven't put on a pair of skis for a long time, and we probably won't, because as we're getting older, we're afraid we're going to break something, and we don't want to do that. So that's more for us. It would be more of a just kind of like hiking in the snow a little bit and having maybe a lunch or a hot coffee or hot chocolate or whatever, just kind of to experience the snow for us. That's a big deal for us here. Number 10 is going to live nativity events. I think that those are absolutely gorgeous and truly reminding us of the reason for the season. And if you are looking for the true reason for the season, not only is the live nativity event an option, but my number 11 is going to a Christmas church service where the focus is on the birth of Jesus. So those are my 11 choices that my family is going to be able to be voting on. We'll see what they come up with and what they want to do. I will let you know after Christmas is over what we did end up doing, but right now it's just my ongoing list. So if you have any ideas, I'd love to expand my list beyond this 11. If you have anything that your family really enjoys, I would love to hear about that so I can add it to my list too. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll also leave a link in the description below to the VLOGMAS series. So if you've missed any of the videos that are in this series, you'll be able to find them really easily right there. And that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.